This has been on various stages of front burner, back burner, side burner, after burner for probably years at this point, with
in different forms,
varying degrees of sort of plausibility and different people sort of supporting the initiative. But
at one point it was a hotel.
That was kind of different.
Okay.
That was pretty different. But I'd say the origin of the idea goes all the way back to Colton, basically trying to figure out how to get Linus Media Group to substitute his home or subsidize his home. We were pretty clear that probably won't make a ton of sense.
That's really funny because a lot of people in Philippine chat seem to be convinced that it's my house.
No, just buying a house for Colton. So I think his original pitch to me was something along the lines of, okay, hear me out. The company buys a house, I rent it for cheap and live in the basement, and the company uses the upstairs to do like tech house things, and then like if I like it, I'll buy it after. And I was like, so basically, you just want the deal Luke had,
which was so good.
Back when
I can't blame him.
Back when we were working out of the Langley house as a studio, and I pretty much was like, Colton, you understand the 100 or so reasons, namely all of your fellow employees, that is not fair, and we cannot do that, right? And he's like, okay, but. We've given it a lot of thought, and we've kind of assessed a lot of the different options, and I think there is a path forward. Now, if you're a regular watcher of the show, you'll probably know that I'm not super comfortable with the idea of residential housing as an investable commodity, and it's not something that I want to participate in. I kind of have a sports day approach to sort of housing allocation. They brought some food. Everybody's working hard. Everybody's hungry. If you want a second one, that's totally cool, but you should probably wait till everybody's had their first, right? Just be a good fellow citizen. And to be clear,
I didn't know where that was going, but I like it. It's a good analogy.
No disrespect to anyone who, does landlording stuff or whatever. Everyone's got their own personal sort of value system, and what works for me might not work for you, and vice versa. And, no disrespect for people who, have a vacation property or, whatever else. I think if you have a cabin by the lake somewhere, that's power to you or whatever else, but it's not for me. And so finding a way to buy a house, because like what, we're gonna lease one and make a bunch of improvements to it? Like, you got to be kidding me right now.
No,
right? So buying a house, finding a way to do that in a market like Vancouver, which is quite literally in the top, if not top 3, definitely top 5 most unfavorable housing markets in the entire world, for the sole purpose of making videos in it. The optics aren't
questionable at the very least.
Yeah, definitely questionable.
Yeah.
But I came up with an idea that I think people are mostly going to vibe with. So I'm thinking we find something that is probably not easily within reach of the average Vancouverite, but something that from at least kind of the outside will look like kind of a normal single family home in a lot of like, the United States Midwest or whatever. Like it'll be kind of a, small yard, front and back, and I'm aiming for like anywhere between about 1,800 square feet, 2,500 square feet. If we could find something that was a touch on the bigger side, like 2,900 square feet, and it had a basement level, I think that would be pretty cool, because that would unlock a lot of content options.
More like sets, areas to work on, things to do, modes for the house to be in.
It's more cool stuff that we can do, for sure, right? Yeah. And then the idea here, and there are still some like tax and so some tax implications, especially, that we would have to figure out around this. But the idea, don't hold me to this, is that we would buy the house, okay? We would make a bunch of tech improvements, and the law stipulates that, or tax law stipulates that when you sell an asset, it has to be for something resembling a market value, right? Because otherwise, you could make the argument that Are we still live? It appears so. Otherwise, you could make the argument that if you bought it, for instance, you would be receiving like a cash equivalent benefit, right? Like if I were to say, I bought this house for $1 million. Very funny, haha, Vancouver. Yeah, right. But I bought this house for $1 million, and Luke, I'm not gonna pay you at work this year, but I'm going to sell you this house for $10.
Hey, nice.
Don't worry about income tax, right? Because you didn't have any income, right?
Yeah.
Well, the government thought of that.
That's really good. Oh.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Jerks.
So you're not really allowed to do that. When you sell something, you have to sell it for something resembling a market value. And look, we can talk all day about whether that rule makes any sense or whether we like it. That's just the way it is. That's the way it is here, and we get audited frequently enough that it would be noticed, even if we were like, oh yeah, well we're gonna do it anyway. So something that I noticed though is, between my own house shopping over the years and chatting with other folks who have also been shopping for homes, is that occasionally people do sell a home fully furnished. And one of the things I've noticed about that is that the pricing generally
doesn't change
not
much.
Very reflective of all the stuff that's in the house, which kind of makes sense because
my place didn't come fully furnished, but it was genuinely really close, and that was valued at literally nothing.
The dead guy's stuff, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So here's my idea. We come in, we buy the house for, let's say, $1 million. We do a bunch of stuff on it. I think we're going to have to keep it for at least 2 years. Have you seen the new taxes on? I don't know if they're in place yet, but they're either in place or they're coming on people who flip a house in less than 2 years.
I had no idea.
Yeah, I saw that. I don't know if that's confirmed yet.
Honestly, you're probably going to need that much time to do everything to it
I think so too. I think we're going to have a lot to do.
With the amount of ideas that I've thought of just sitting here so far.
Oh, dude. I want I want to do geothermal on it. I want to do so much stuff. Basically everything that I was budget constrained or time constrained or constrained by the fact that I have to live in it. Everything I wanted to do with my house, I want to do in this one. And one of the conversations I had with James was that, okay, let's get to the conversation with James later. First, let's finish the thought about how we're going to do this. So we spend our couple of years working on it. And then whatever market fluctuation has happened in that time, we basically go, okay, how about this? How about just making sure that we cover all of our costs, because not everything we put into the house is going to be sent by the manufacturer or a sponsor or whatever, but just to cover the stuff that we have to put in ourselves, and whatever the market is, it goes out like that. And if we put in the world's biggest TV or whatever, I don't know. I mean, it's in there. You might not like the TV, so we don't really know how to value that. So,
yeah, because the actual house,
and then we put it on the market.
Value, it is super sketch to sell below a certain amount.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can't.
So you can sell it cheaply.
Yeah, even then we probably wouldn't, because we're going to put a ton of money into it.
Yeah, sure.
Way more than would be reasonable. If we bought a house for 1.5 mil,
how do you decide who gets to buy it though?
Okay, so see that is where...
since I've heard this idea, I've been stuck on that part.
So
how does that work?
I don't know. I'm not really there yet. We're probably 3 to 6 months from actually purchasing it. We're probably 6 to 9 months from uploading the first video in it, and we're almost 3 years from when we're going to have to deal with this.
Yeah, speaking of someone in full plane chat, is it barred from employees?
So you and Elijah, I think, are now the 8th and 9th person to bring up that you're going to be the one who wants to buy it.
I'm sure.
So hear me out. Whole new series. This time sponsored by NVIDIA. NVIDIA $500,000 ultimate house upgrade. I think they got the money for it.
Oh my goodness.
They could afford it.
That would be amazing.
So we turned the entire channel into just a tech house reno channel.
Wow. Okay, so after the first one,
we just keep going. I mean, why would we have to have just one going at a time?
It's
you got to wait around for
over
permits.
a year worth of content.
Oh, easy.
Per one. So
Easy.
like it kind of does potentially make sense. That's wild.
Elijah says, how about we fight each other to the death? The winner gets it. Elijah, you don't want to fight Luke. That's actually fucking stupid, my guy.
There's people at the company though that would be very terrifying.
Okay, so anyway, since unlike some other YouTubers, I'm not actually trying to create real life Hunger Games, or sorry, rather the other one. Let's talk about the conversation with James, because a big part of the issue with a lot of the upgrades that we did at my house was that there was no customer for it. Like, I was just kind of doing weird stuff that I would do for myself, and so I ended up with a lot of stuff that was never really fully finished. Squid Game, that's what I was thinking of. That was never really fully finished, or that didn't really make sense for most people, right? Like, the average person, like if I don't know who's going to buy a house, I have to reno it in a completely different way from if I'm building some weird thing for myself. So instead of using Home Assistant, I probably use Homey. You know what I mean?
I see. I'm so I don't even know Homey.
You're looking it up?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's basically, it's kind of, it's along the lines of what Home Assistant is trying to do, bringing all the disparate ecosystems into one management platform. But is
it just more user-friendly, but more closed?
It's more user-friendly, and it's and you have to like pay a subscription, whereas Home Assistant you can do everything yourself. I believe
sure
so.
It shouldn't
actually,
just be Home Assistant.
No, I'm not sure. In fact, there's one bloke that I can't say much about because he's working on some cool stuff that I can't say much about. But maybe Home Assistant could get more user-friendly in the future. I mean, we're talking about something that we're not going to deploy for a couple of years at this point. But I'm basically just using that as an example of how we might do something a little bit differently. Instead of having a cooling loop that is run into the walls of the pool to cool the mechanical room, we might just do something where we have like, we might just not do that. just an idea, or some of the cool ideas that have actually worked out really well at my place. Like the LAN room is awesome.
You could offer.
Like we could do it more user friendly. We'd make sure that there's actually power buttons, next to all the machines. We'd have like a nice little plate in the wall that has all the I/O and everything.
What if you offered 1 year of quarterly tech maintenance for free as long as you were allowed to film it after the sale? It has to be an offer. It can't for sure go with it.
I don't know.
It would be interesting to see like the decay.
I don't know if that would be free because I don't want to do it.
I was just be for filming.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be you.
Okay. I don't know. No commitment.
Yeah.
No commitment on that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So I'd be interested to see how the stewards of the home like took care of the stuff.
Yeah. I don't want that to be my problem.
Sure.
But I do want to have everything set up in such a way that conceivably whoever takes it on could use the stuff.
Yeah, so like, are you going to rip to studs?
I don't know if we'd have to. I don't know if you saw, did you see Josh Chan's AMD Ultimate Tech Upgrade?
I haven't watched it yet. I've watched nothing.
There's a lot of open walls, but he didn't have to just rip all the drywall off either. Like, they're all things that you could conceivably patch, and he managed to wire up a lot of that place with Ethernet.
Cool.
As he needed to do. And so I would want to not be gratuitous about it, but I also wouldn't want to hold back. The idea would be that we're buying something that has kind of like the original kitchen cabinets in it from 1993. Like it was overdue for a bit of a spit shine anyway. And then as we go and do that, we're gonna techify the place. So like, oh man, shoot, I'm trying to remember who it was. Someone reached out recently. They have this really cool mapping solution for setting up your Wi-Fi access points, and it's like super sophisticated. And I know like Ubiquiti has stuff like that, but this one looked really cool. And one of the reasons that it jumped out to me was that Joel Crane, who used to work at MetaGeek, is apparently there, and he's a super smart guy. And so I was like, oh, okay, well, yeah, if Joel's involved, then maybe this is really cool. And so, we would go in, and as we're figuring out where to put all of our Ethernet runs, we do an episode on sort of Wi-Fi coverage mapping and just all that kind of stuff. But a lot of the improvements we'd be making also wouldn't be tech, like putting in new floors and like home reno stuff. Here's a question for you guys: is how much appetite would you have for the not tech aspects of this? And I want to hear from the audience, right?
The not tech aspects.
Okay, so here let me give you a spectrum of things that are more or less techy, and you can tell me where you think the cutoff is. Okay. So putting in new floors, hardwood floors in the living room.
Honestly, if this is its own channel,
yeah,
I think that's fine. It
wouldn't be its own channel in its current form.
This is just on LTT?
I was just joking about like having an NVIDIA sponsored home reno channel. I wasn't serious about that.
If this is on LTT, I think an episode of putting in new floors is probably not going to be that amazing.
That's fine.
Sure.
Okay.
Unless you do something weird with the floors.
So that's where I'm going next.
Okay.
I'm getting there. Okay. New kitchen cabinets. It's not much tech, but one of the things that I have found myself wanting in my place, like if we'd redone our cabinets, I had this idea that turns out is not my idea, because I've seen it done elsewhere now, but I want to be able to take, because
still be your idea if you thought of it before you saw it.
My flippin' dishwasher never gets things completely dry, especially plastic. So like the little like Rubbermaid or Tupperware containers and stuff that you like put kids' lunches in and stuff like that. They're never dry when they come out. And what is even the point of having a drying cycle if I can't immediately take stuff out of my dishwasher and put it away? So one of the things that I would love to have in the kitchen cabinets, and we'd probably end up DIYing this, is I would want to bake in airflow to the cabinets so that you can put everything away wet. And then there's just...
Oh, this is a thing.
Yeah, I know.
Right. You said that.
But what makes it techier is I'd want to like DIY it. So we basically have like Noctua fans. We have like a humidity sensor inside or something.
So they turn on most of them.
I'm pitching here.
It's a rack. The bottom of the shelf is instead a rack, and it just drips into the sink. Because where are you gonna have the runoff water go?
So I'm not expecting to put things away wet.
Oh, there are sometimes there's a cabinet above the sink, and the bottom of the cabinet is just a rack that is just open, and it just drips into the sink.
But that I wouldn't be able to do everything like that. Like that would only work for like
it's a drying rack. It's a hidden drying rack.
Yeah, that's not what I want. Okay. I want when I pull everything out of my. I just want some airflow.
Where does the water run then?
Well, I'm not imagining that there would be a ton of water on.
I don't know how wet your plastic things are when they come out of your
I'm willing to give them a little shake before I put them in, right? If there's a couple pieces, cutlery is usually pretty good because it's metal, so it tends to retain a lot of the heat from the hot water, and then that helps it kind of evaporate off of it. But what I'm asking is that techie enough? If we put some fans in a kitchen cabinet, let's boil it down to that.
It's a little rough, but once you start getting the humidity sensors and stuff like that, I think it gets maybe okay.
Okay, what if I didn't have a humidity sensor? What if it wasn't that sophisticated?
If it's just fans in a cabinet and you just flip a switch, I think that's a little rough.
Okay.
Personally.
What do you guys think? Do you want to throw a poll on the float plane people there, Dan? See what they think.
Now we know. We know the polls don't work perfectly, so it's like.
What if the fans were RGB?
It doesn't change anything.
Well, no,
at all for me.
hold on. Are you sure?
Yes.
Like, okay, because you know how you'll have your kitchen cabinets that are closed, right? Hear me out.
I'm hearing you. I'm writing a note. Sorry.
Okay, you know how you'll have your kitchen cabinets that are closed, like they're solid, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then you'll also have your display ones, right? Like that's where I keep my glass from Timmy Tech TV
glass
and
doors.
any that you like are collectibles or anything like
Timmy
that.
Tech TV glass is sick.
So what if as part of your more techie cabinets you have like RGB strips in your display cabinets or something like that? Are we getting there? Is it moving the needle for you at all?
Just because I think I hate that so much more than leaving it alone that I wouldn't want to see it.
What if it wasn't? What if you didn't use the RGB to turn it green and purple? Like, what if it was more just like you have color temperature control lights, so you could have them have like a cooler light on your display, or whatever. All right, I want to see the results here. Our cabinet's techie enough.
I'm not sure if I got what you were going for, but that sounds
That's fine.
Okay.
It seems pretty split. It looks pretty split so far. So, okay, good to know. But I think we're probably on the same page that as soon as there's any kind of humidity sensing, what if the humidity sensor was really hard? Because it turns out humidity sensors can be a bit of a challenge. I was looking into making a cabinet, and I understand it's called a humidor. I don't smoke cigars, but I wanted to make a cabinet for storing badminton shuttles.
Okay.
And the reason for that is that high humidity will help the feathers not be as brittle when you're playing. So it makes them last longer. And now that they're so flipping expensive, that's kind of a bigger deal than it's ever been. And one of the things that I ran up against is like consumer commodity that actually not that simple. Most of the DIY humidor
other than just
stuff,
buying a humidor, I'm assuming.
most of the DIY humidor stuff that I've seen is just like essentially putting like bags of Orbeez into a sealed wooden container, like very unsophisticated.
How do you just non-DIY purchasable humidors stay humid?
Well, they're small. They're for cigars for the most part. It turns out that most people are either building a little tiny humidor, it was so cute, like a cigar, or they're building an industrial humidity environmental chamber.
The cigar sniff was amazing.
And
My goodness.
can you tell I've never smoked a cigar?
That was slightly convincing, though, I feel
All
like.
right, well, thank you. So yeah, there's not really much in between. Nobody is talking about how to store badminton shuttles in a humidor, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
But humidity detecting devices are all over the place.
Okay. All right. It could be really hard to tune it for just like there's a little bit of moisture on a Tupperware I put in here. That's my main concern. But okay, what about this? What if I had an opening sensor on the door, and whenever you open it, it kind of assumes that you're probably doing something and it blows the fans for a bit. Would that level of automation make it techie enough?
I think the spirit of that level of automation, sure. I think that application sucks, but I think I get your point of like...
Okay, how about this?
Some form of trigger event.
What if the shelves were quite custom? And what if they were made out of some kind of cool material that allowed everything to be put away wet, and there was like integrated like drainage channels and stuff in the back or something. So you could put anything on any shelf you want, and even like soaking dripping wet, and it would like go somewhere or something without molding. It sounds disgusting, but let's say we could do it. Hypothetically.
My current brain, due to current events, is like, no, because of all the mold.
Well, yeah, sure.
But
we design it so that it can be hosed out. You take your dishes out and you can hose them down.
The problem that I see with that is just I don't see the tech integration there. Maybe if you did it with like PC water cooling hardware.
I mean, why does it have to be PC water cooling hardware? I mean, nothing else about the house is going to be PC.
PC water cooling hardware could eventually just be like copper pipes and PEX and whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
like I don't really
it's kind of irrelevant.
I don't think that's necessary.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, all right. Either way, I don't think we're that far off.
I think it couldn't just be angled metal trays, though.
and fans.
And fans.
And custom shelves that are perforated. And we'd have to build in like an airflow path. We'd have to have venting to somewhere.
Could this be is any of the goal of this place also like green tech? Like, are you doing solar
Absolutely.
panels?
It would have to be.
Could this be like water reclaiming?
No, there's not enough.
Not enough.
Yeah, it wouldn't be worth it.
I in my brain, your dishes come out so wet.
No, they really
I'm continually realizing that is not.
don't. No, it runs a drying cycle, Luke. It just doesn't finish everything.
You've always like massively stuffed your dishwasher loads.
Well, yeah.
So I'm like not super surprised they come out a little wet.
5 people live in my house.
I don't blame you.
And no, it's the plastic stuff, because those Rubbermaid containers, they have the little ridge on the bottom that makes them stackable.
Yeah.
And so it's like a pool up there. It can't dry.
Yeah.
So it's frustrating.
I'm trying to find.
All right. Anyway, did you guys have anything that you particularly wanted to see us do in the tech house? Like, I've got a whole doc of ideas, but if there's any brilliant ideas you guys have, I'm super open to it. Like, I want to do conduit basically everywhere. I want to do it differently from how we did it in my place.
Oh man, I hope this isn't like pseudoscience junk, but I'm rather certain it's not. I'd like to see like CO2 management.
Oh, okay. Just like monitoring.
So if you're like landing in the basement,
yeah,
and the CO2 levels get really high,
sure.
Like do something so airflow starts getting better.
I think an alarm that goes off is probably about all you'd really need to do there.
I mean, that's like a 10-minute project though.
Sure, but that could be part of just like an overall episode on air quality
that's
management.
Fair. Yeah.
Right?
Air quality management, I think, would be pretty sweet.
Oh, yeah. We actually have a video coming soon on, soon TM, but we've been looking into like monitoring water quality as well for like microplastics and stuff like that. So like a whole home filtration system is something we would absolutely be looking into for.
You're not going to be very healthy due to all the gaming, so we're going to do whatever we can.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, I like it.
I'd love to do more with like hidden tech. So, having a rec room, for instance, where it's not obvious that there's a giant TV in it.
My like eventual goal is for my living room area to not look like there's basically any tech going on at all.
Yeah, and the TV is the toughest one. I've heard of all kinds of just wackadoodle implementations of like hidden TV panels, or like they like come out of the ceiling and freaking like they're on like these like motorized arms and stuff. I don't think we'd go that far because coming back to my conversation with James, the target audience for this house shouldn't quite be me. It shouldn't be someone who's willing to tolerate half of the things in their life being broken at any given time because they just wanted to tinker with it, right? So I'm imagining, but I also don't want to just go full money is absolutely no object. So we're just going to like hire a contractor and spend $100,000 on an articulating TV mount.
I don't think we need to hide the TV, but I do think
a buried subwoofer in the backyard so that we can shake the entire back lawn so we can annoy our neighbors or whatever. Like, we don't have to do that kind of stuff.
I really like the idea though that it seems like a fairly normal house, and then you see the like utility closet or wherever where you have like a little server thing running, and then you're like, wait, what's going on in here? And then it like has to be revealed from there all the different cool things that are happening.
AJ says he hooked up sensors to listen to fire and CO2 alarms from his central kitty system. So I could see modifications of like factory
100%.
Factory monitoring systems, right?
Yeah.
Being something that would be additive.
Well, there's some
so that way, like they could still just use the TELUS app or whatever for their monitoring. But if they, if it's working at the moment, and if they feel like tinkering with it, there could be another level deeper that they could go. Like that would be one way to do it.
I know of at least one CO2 and humidity and some other stuff sensor that has just an API.
Yeah.
So you could like set up just a little box that doesn't look of much consequence and tie event triggers into them.
Man, I am... oh, wow. Euroblue suggests we call it Big Nerd Gaming House.
That's not bad.
I'm so into it.
That's not bad at all.
Big Nerd Gaming House. The BNGH.
That's not bad. That's not bad. I like the acronym.
Yeah, well, did these guys have any particular suggestions? UVB and UVC air cleaners. Okay, so that's something that I'm a little sort of on the fence about. Is there's seems to be a lot of conflicting information about exactly how clean you necessarily want your air. Like air quality from a pollution standpoint here is not a major concern.
Yeah, it's basically just if there's like a fire.
Yeah, and so I don't know that we would necessarily put like hardcore air filtration into the place. But I could see us putting in something that would be like compatible with something like that in the central ducted air conditioning or something.
It depends on where you live, but like and I know this is a house, but like my apartment has massive issues with people who smoke a variety of things, cigars, cigarettes, weed on their balconies.
Yeah.
And then it flows into other people's units. That's a bit of an air quality annoyance.
Jack 33 in Floatplane Chat says, I have air filtration. It's amazing if you have a neighbor that smokes. Yep.
Yeah.
Mattman asks, have you considered not buying the house and taking applications to rent someone else's property? We've considered that, but the reason we wouldn't do that is because we're expecting this project to take place over 1 to 2 years.
Dude, that could get so annoying.
Yeah, we can't be up in someone's business for that long. It just doesn't make any sense.
It sounds cool, and then you really need to film, and they have like a big social thing
or they have a baby.
Well, that's kind of what I mean.
Something.
A family event level social issue, and like it's really not acceptable to go in there at that time.